Hey, what's going on guys, Chris here, and today's video is going to be focusing on the new Call of Duty game. I managed to get into the beta for COD WW2, and after playing it for a bunch of hours over the weekend, I can kinda get the gist of what the game's all about. It's obviously not the final product, but I know for a fact that it's also not going to drastically change from now and its release date over in November. Some weapons might get nerfed and buffed, I think some of the SMGs probably need a bit of balancing out, but we can safely presume that the game's going to look and feel the same as the beta when it gets released. So what did I think of it? Is it good? Did it suck? Or is it somewhere in between? Well, from what I played, I can say that although I don't think it was particularly bad, it definitely didn't blow me away. It's basically the same arcadey flint shooting fast-paced Call of Duty game we get every year, but this one's doing away with all these space-age gadgets and advanced movement systems, and going back to its roots, stripping it all away and basically going back to what it used to be, which is kinda what the fans wanted at the end of the day. Considering the Call of Duty franchise is pumping a ridiculous amount of money into Activision's pocket year by year, the least you could probably expect by now is some updated animations and a new graphics and physics engine, which Call of Duty has really needed for quite a while now. World War II looks outdated to say the least, and honestly, because the bar has been raised so high by other current games like Battlefield 1 and Star Wars Battlefront 2, it just makes COD World War II look a bit cheap in comparison. Though at least the game does support HDR, which is a nice feature if you have a TV which supports it. Following on from the whole outdated argument, considering Call of Duty is such a big competitive game, I think it's about time we got some of those extra settings that so many other games include these days, which are just going to help us fine-tune our experience. Stuff that COD World War II just doesn't have, like field of view sliders, trigger sensitivity settings, and most of all, joystick dead zone. And in case you don't know what dead zone is, it's basically the small area around the joystick which doesn't respond to the stick's movements. Because I like to play with a very low dead zone setting, this means that I couldn't be quite as accurate as I wanted to be, and it made those small scale adjustments a lot harder to perform on a high sensitivity setting. Black Ops 3 seemed to have a generally lower dead zone, which in my opinion made the aiming feel a lot smoother. But it seems that Sledgehammer Games have gone back to a similar sort of dead zone setting to what was in Advanced Warfare, a setting which I just didn't really like. One positive thing that I can say about the game is the sound design, which is one of the best things I gathered from the beta. The guns sound punchy and aggressive, the explosions are bassy and powerful, and nothing quite beats the sound of an empty M1 Garand clip pinging through the air. At the moment, although it's definitely not an accurate depiction of World War II, Sledgehammer Games seem to have taken a slightly edgier and more serious approach to the game's overall design. So all those stupid weed logos, pink neon camos and all that dabbing crap seem to be a thing of the past. But I guess that could all change when the game finally hits. Hopefully not. Though you can high-five the air, which is a bit weird. There's a few changes to the in-game systems, but nothing massively different. Instead of having pick 10, we now have divisions, which all offer their own perks and bonuses which can be gained over time by leveling up with individual divisions. It gives us a lot less customization in some of the recent games over the past few years, and a lot of people are probably going to find this to be a bit boring and stale, as there doesn't seem to be quite as much variety in how we can build individual classes. Though I guess it does help with the overall balancing of the game, simplifying it and giving each player their own designated set of skills to fit their playstyle, which is quite interesting, and from my experience, it worked pretty well. The game-winning kill cam has been replaced with an Overwatch-style play of the game segment which highlights a cool multi-kill or something which happened in the game, and this is probably a good thing, as everyone can breathe a bit easier towards the end of the game without worrying about being a victim of an embarrassing death. The new War mode is basically Call of Duty's take on Battlefield 1's operations, seeing an attacking team pushing the defenders back through a series of capture points and objectives. It was fun for a few rounds, and it did encourage team play, something that Call of Duty games rarely ever do, but it didn't really have that long-lasting appeal like some of the other modes. Plus, the one map we got to try out got really old really quickly, once we realised where all the main vantage points and shortcuts were, as the map we got to play was really narrow and didn't really leave much room for flanking and tactics. It was more of a case of just aiming down the routes enemies come from and playing whack-a-mole as soon as they pop out. So overall, my experience with the Call of Duty World War II Beta was a bit of a mixed bag, as although it has gone back to its roots and still offers that fast, frantic gameplay it's famous for, it hasn't really evolved much as a game. Let's put it this way, COD World War II looks and feels like it could have come out years ago. Some things have changed slightly, but to me it didn't feel fresh or particularly impressive, and anyone expecting something new or innovative might be a bit disappointed. If you're a fan of COD and just want a simple boots to the floor World War II shooter which copies the old formula, then the game might appeal to you. I probably had more fun in the World War II beta than I did in the whole of Infinite Warfare's multiplayer, which I wasn't a huge fan of. But I can't exactly say that I enjoyed it as much as I thought I would, and Black Ops 3 still had a stronger beta in my opinion. But that's all I've got for you in this one, guys. I could go on all day about the beta, but there's already a load of other YouTubers doing that, and I just wanted to get some of my main points about the game out there for you guys to know. I probably won't be posting too much on COD World War II in the future, maybe the odd video or two, but I'm mainly going to be focusing on Battlefield 1's In the Name of the SAR DLC, and other stuff like that soon. Hopefully when COD World War II gets released, the final game will be good, and I'm still probably going to pick it up at some point. But these are just my opinions on the multiplayer beta. If you've played the beta also, let me know what you think of it down in the comments below. Hope you found the video useful, give me a like if you did, and subscribe for all that fresh content coming soon. Take it easy, and I'll see you in that next episode.